Hello, everyone. Agent of Doubt here. Once again, I'm here to talk about superdelegates in the Democratic Party in the 2016 election who also happen to be registered lobbyists. And first, I just want to say that there's nothing secret about what I'm saying here. This is not Illuminati, Bilderberger, backdoor, backroom deals. It's none of that. This is all out in the open. Okay, you can research this. These are the actual positions of these people. These are the actual clients that they represent, and these are the actual candidates that they are pledged to. None of this is secret. You can look this up, and I really feel like there are a lot of slacktivists on YouTube that will not go through the effort to click on every single damn name on that list and follow these names to what these people actually do, right? And I feel like Hillary Clinton would have a hell of a lot harder time staving off Bernie Sanders if some of Bernie Sanders's supporters would start looking at the names of these super delegates and researching them. I know that there's like 719 of them this year. Okay, I know that, but you know what? That's why they call it legwork. There's a process to it. You got to work, and it's not that much work to look at 719 names, especially when they're all collected in one spot. Like I'm going to leave in the description box. Okay, link in the description box to a list of all of the super delegates this year, and you know this is where I'm getting this stuff. Okay, so my last video on this was about Jeff Berman and how he basically represents the Keystone Pipeline idea, okay? And how he's really interested in backing Hillary Clinton. She's paying him, he's supporting her, he's a superdelegate. He's coordinating other superdelegates for her, but he also has clients that he represents as a lobbyist, one of which being TransCanada, the Keystone XL pipeline. Now, he's supporting her, but she is the Secretary of State underneath Barack Obama. And so, Barack Obama being the one who vetoed the Keystone XL pipeline, this represents a conflict of interest between her working, for President Obama and, her being supported by interests that are opposed to him. And that is a great segue for talking about this next group of superdelegates that I want to talk about, and that is the Dewey Square Group. And I think it's proper for me to just call them that rather than their actual names because they pretty much are the corporation that they work for in my eyes. But their actual names are Maria Cardona, Minion Moore, and Jill Alper. Now, their names are on this list of superdelegates, but you'd have to click on everyone to start connecting these dots and finding out the people who work for the same lobbyist groups. Now, Dewey Square Group also represents one of those conflicts of interest. Okay, what they did in 2009 was they were lobbying against provisions in Medicare Advantage, which kind of set the pace and paved the way for the Affordable Care Act. And in my profession, I really appreciate the Affordable Care Act because it's really funneling people into getting health care. A lot of them on Medicare and Medicaid, and just the fact that people have been set up on that makes it so much easier for people like me to bill. Okay. Thing is, Dewey Square Group was representing insurance companies who wanted to not have these provisions added to the way that the government handles healthcare, and Dewey Square Group was representing insurance companies who were overbilling the government for healthcare for something like $70 billion. You know, and so they don't want actual healthcare workers getting paid more. They don't want to make it easier for people in the healthcare industry to find some way to get paid for giving people healthcare. No, they want insurance companies to be able to bill for more whilst, still trimming the budgets of every hospital and every clinic that is trying to give actual care to people. So I really don't like Dewey Square Group at all, okay? But if people were to hear that Secretary of State Clinton was being backed by Dewey Square Group, who are diametrically opposed to things like the Affordable Care Act and Medicare Advantage, people would just go, whoa, hey, wait a second. Why are you being backed by these people who are against the things that your boss worked so hard to achieve? And from the Bernie Sanders camp, I think Dewey Square Group would also be something that would be a shocker if people actually would click on this list of names, because Dewey Square Group also represented Enron, they represented Countrywide, they represented Citigroup, right? And some of these companies were involved in the financial crisis of 2008, and some of the lobbying that Dewey Square Group does is against provisions in the Dodd-Frank bill, something that was meant to try to remedy some of the problems that we had in 2008 when our economy went. So, yeah. The fact that Clinton has gone on record as saying that she supports Dodd-Frank. She said this in the debates against Bernie Sanders, but she's being backed by superdelegates who work for the lobbyist group that are against the Dodd-Frank bill. I think that would be very telling, and people would see that, maybe these superdelegates know something about Hillary Clinton that the rest of us don't know. Maybe they think that she's going to have a little bit different opinion than the person that she's working for right now. And that conflict of interest of her currently working for an administration that is one way, but she's, poised to take the reins and then turn us in a different direction. I think that's something that would really wake people up. But unfortunately, slacktivists are not going to click on the link below. They're not going to follow that list. They're not going to research these superdelegates, and they're going to lose and wonder why.